Hi there, and welcome to part two of this video course. This is module two, and here I'll be talking about how to move from knowledge to concept, how to move from the idea that you have for your book to actually, bringing out the concept, to solidifying the concept, and getting your book done. So we have a few lessons under this module. We have three major lessons, and the first one is identifying the monetizable angle of your story. And the first thing to note is what makes a book monetizable. Firstly, it has to solve a real problem or meet the desire of a group of people. It has to also offer value that people are willing to pay for, and it has to, you can link your book to a product or a service or a form of transformation that people are willing to pay for. Yes, writing a book is fun, but at the same time, the goal is for you to make money off of it, or for you to be able to monetize one skill or the other. So firstly, your book needs to address a problem. It needs to make people feel like you're doing something for them, meeting a desire that they actually have. Secondly, you need to be offering a value that they are willing to pay for, right? For it to be a monetizable skill. Yeah, you need to be offering a value that people want to pay for. Even if you're writing a fictional book, people want to pay for entertainment. That's a value, and they are willing to pay for it. But you can also take the book the extra mile, such that when a person is done reading your book, you can say, they can reach out for consultations, or they can buy another book, or watch the movie that you made out of your book, or whatever, right? Which leads to the third thing, which is actually your book being connected to links to a product or a service or transformation, right? When you do that, it's basically like you're making your book less of just a book. You're adding so much value to it that people will be unable to ignore what you have going on. So you can link, for instance, if you have a book that's about skincare, or let's say candle making. So you wrote a book about candle making. Imagine connecting it to some people being able to buy your own candles, or some people attending a paid masterclass rather, that you're doing for candle making, how to monetize or build a great business from candle making, right? Or you can do a service where people learn how to identify good candles, good scented candles, and the ones that are not good scented candles. So yes, you can do something like that, and that's a way for you to monetize. But there are a few questions that you need to ask yourself before you can go forward with this. But before we go to the questions that you need to ask yourself, let's look at the three monetizable book angles. The first one is problem solving, the second one is positioning, and the third one is pathway. Now, the first angle, problem solving, is when you're teaching people how to fix something, how to start something, how to build something, how to overcome something, right? You're teaching them how to solve a problem that they have. It might be a physical problem, it could be a mental problem, it could be a spiritual problem, it could be a psychological problem, it could be something materialistic, it could be a DIY thing in their house, but you're teaching them how to fix something. That brings value. Secondly, you can monetize your book from the angle of positioning, where you're elevating your brand to get more gigs and more clients and more press, right? It's like you're pulling a publicity stunt in reverse, right? And the third one is a pathway, where you're sort of guiding readers through a journey that you have walked. It could be you saying, okay, you know what, when I lived my 20s. So I've seen people write those books where they're like, oh, what to do in your 20s, how I lived my 30s, basically like entertainment non-fiction of some sort, where they're talking about the stories of their life. So how you move from point A to point B, how you move from a newbie in the finance industry to someone who is now a globally recognized figure, right? How you passed your test, how you went from test to testimony to triumph, right? That's how you go about this. So these are three angles that you can come from. There are a few other angles, but for people that are especially working non-fiction, these are three angles you can look through. Now, here are some of the things that you need to ask yourself. Firstly, what do people constantly ask for help with? So let's say you used to be like, maybe you're a senior consultant in the finance industry, and people keep reaching out to you about terms, like, what does this term mean? What is this new tax law? What is this thing? What is this thing? What are those things that they keep asking you about? For me as a writer, people come to me and they're like, oh, how do I know if my book is good enough, where do I publish my books? Where do I publish my books? How do I write my books? How do I put my book out there? How are people going to get to know about me? Can I do this on an international level? Those are questions people ask me, and that's why you can see this course, even though it's not even entire course, but that's why you can see this course. And if you're watching this video, please make sure that you subscribe to this channel. Yes, so make sure you subscribe even as you go through all the other parts. But the second thing that you want to ask yourself is, what did I struggle to figure out that other people still need? What did I struggle to figure out that other people still need? So for me, what I struggled to figure out was like international platforms that are available to access my country, how to format my book myself, how to edit my book myself, So those are things I had to figure out. What paid offer could this book lead to? For me, if I write a book about how to write a book, the paid offer it could lead to maybe consultation sessions or helping people to edit and format their books, which has happened quite a lot. A number of people have paid me to put their books up on Amazon, KDP, and other platforms, right? So those are the paid offers that a book in my niche can lead to. Now for you, what could it lead to? For instance, if you're doing a PDF on candle making, a paid offer it could lead to is you could just see someone say, oh my God, I've got an event and I want nice candles as souvenirs. Please, can you create about 500 of these for me? Or you could see people say, okay, you know what, they want to join your live master class and stuff like that. So those are paid offers that you could sort of lead to. Asking yourself these questions would point you in the right direction as to what to prioritize when you are deciding what kind of book you want to write. Choose the right book type for you. Are you going to be writing an author, a memoir, or thought leadership book, whatever? Like, what kind of book do you write? So if you answered all the questions in the last lessons, then you have to now sit down and determine what kind of book am I writing. Now there are 4 common non-fiction book types. Now fiction is basically, when you write a book that is fictional, like it's not real, with characters that are not real. But for non-fiction, there are real books, right? The first common type is the how-to, which is a guidebook that teaches like actionable steps for solving a problem. The second one is a memoir-driven book, where you write about personal stories that you've had, personal experiences that you've had, and the lessons that came with them. And the third one is thought leadership, where you talk about bold ideas and frameworks and industry insight, while the fourth is a mix of story and strategy and exercises. And I'm going to try as much as possible to break it down. Right, firstly, guidebooks are great for entrepreneurs, whether in tech or in business or in AI or whatever. If you're trying to teach people how to do something, how to solve a problem, how to break into a place or whatever, how to break into a niche, whatever, as long as solving a problem, entrepreneurial in whatever way, and how to book is great. Memoir driven is majorly you would see memoir driven primarily in people who are professionals, whether business professionals, tech professionals, whatever, people who have lived life. You would also see it actually in the entertainment part of things, but it's not very common there. But when you have a story, so maybe you went to serve your country somewhere and you learned certain things about culture, and you write the story of how you went to serve your country and the lessons that you learned about culture inside all of that. Now for thought leadership is primarily professional. So here you're talking about bold ideas and frameworks and industry insight. It could be about finance, it could be about products management, it could be about human resource management. Majorly professional things where you're talking about existing frameworks or new frameworks, bold ideas that you have about certain concepts. It could be about wealth, it could be about whatever, basically the big ideas that you have. While the fourth one is hybrid, where you're sort of mixing stories of personal things that you went through, personal stories you went through, lessons that you learned, thoughts that came out of that. So you can talk about big ideas and frameworks and stuff through all of that. A good example would be Rules of Wealth, right? Where this person, the writer, was sharing his story, the author was sharing his story, and also talking about bold ideas and frameworks that he worked with inside his ad and all of that, while also teaching you how to solve a problem, right? So that would be a great example for that. Then we'll be talking about if once you determine what book type to work with, okay, you know what, let's just look at what type actually really matches your goal outside of all of what I've shared. So just like I said, right, if you're trying to teach a skill, you can go for the how to book type, right? If you're trying to share your journey, basically, you can go for the memoir type. If you're trying to build authority, go for the thought leadership end of things. And if you want flexibility, where you want to just be able to do whatever it is that you want to do, in whatever area it is whatever you just want to be able to do your own thing, then you can go for the hybrid part. But you can also use the breakdown that I used just recently about professional, not professional, entrepreneurial and all of that. Now, you must keep in mind that it's very important for you to keep it simple and not scripted. Like, don't follow a publishing mode, or you must start like this, you must go on like this, must be this number of words. Write the book that people actually need, not what others are writing, not what others say that they've done very well with. Yes, learn from people, but write the book that your audience needs. Write the book that you know in your heart that if you were in the position of your audience, you would need. Don't focus on making everything very gregarious and dramatic and all of that. No, focus on clarity. Make sure whatever it is that you're doing is straightforward and very, very, very easy to understand. Use the easiest English to understand. Use easy images. Don't make something big don't make a mountain out of a molehill, right? Focus on clarity and not complexity. And you know what? Here's a bonus tip that I entered earlier, actually. You can expand your book into series or spin-off offers. Remember, your book is an entry point. This is not even a bonus because I said it before, but don't forget it. Your book is an entry point. It is not your life's final book. It's you. Your book is like a key that you're putting in the door so that you can access a big room or like a big house or a huge mansion. That's what your book is. Keep that in mind. Now, our third lesson is clarifying your message and clarifying your ideal reader so that you can build the right thing and, pass across the right message. Firstly, let's start with the message. What is the core ideas you want your readers to walk away with? Answer this question. Then answer, what transformation will your book deliver? What will it move them from? Like, is it going to move someone from being a pauper into being a wealthy person? Is it going to move them from being confused into being purpose-driven? What transformation is your book going to deliver? If your book is not, delivering any transformation, then forget about it. Here's the truth. Like, even in my last fiction book, right, the transformation I wanted to deliver was there and I was keen on it. I wanted people to leave reading the book understanding fully well that a lot of things that happened in their childhood might have affected who they've come to be as adults. And by the time I was done writing the book and people read it, that was the message that they got. They also got some other things, but that was the transformation I was, heading towards. Lastly, keep your message very focused and repeatable, right? Let people be able to see it and go outside and be able to repeat it easily. Don't make it complex. Don't jump from one idea to the other, to the other, to the other. Walk in a straight line when you're writing your book. That's an action point, and it's easy for people to understand exactly what you want them to do as compared to be successful. Yes, be successful is inspirational, but it is not invoking any change. It's not invoking any transformation. It is not actionable. So now, once you have that message part on lockdown, you have to figure out who your ideal readers are. Firstly, who is this book for specifically? Is it for females around the ages of 25 to 30? Is it for people who are trying to break into the finance industry? Is it for people who are trying to gain clarity concerning certain topics? Is it for people who are transitioning from one space of life into another? Is it for people who are entrepreneurs? Who are they? Who is the book for specifically? Okay, now that you've defined that, where are they in their journey? These people, where are they in their journey? Are they at a point of confusion? Are they at a point of success? Are they at a point of clarity? Are they at a point of lack of knowledge? Like, where exactly do they stand? Also, what do these people feel? What do they fear? What do they want? What do they hope? You really have to get into the head of your ideal reader so that you can wear their shoes and deliver the message appropriately. Touch their pain points. Let them hear what they need to hear and actually cause a change. This is what will eventually bring your book into a place where it will be a success. So picture that one reader, just that one reader. Break down what they want. Break down what they would like to. This is what happens when people build products, even in the tech industry. Break that down, build for them, and then you sell to many, because there are many people like that one person. There are many people like that one person. But if you're writing your book in a way that addresses one person's struggle, other people that are like them will see themselves in your message. Even if they are 50% like that, like your ideal reader, or 20% like your ideal reader, they will always see themselves in your message, and that is what brings you to success. clarity as regards who is supposed to be reading your book helps you to attract the right readers, attract the right clients, and attract the right opportunities. I also feel like one of the things that it does is that it brings you into a place where you can confidently talk about your book to anybody at any time. You are clear about what you're trying to achieve with the book, and that confidence is something that you can then transfer into people whenever they get to hear about your book. So that is all. Please go to the next video. If you've not subscribed to my channel, please subscribe to my channel and like this video. Ask your questions in the comment section also. Thank you. Bye.